You know, Ty, there's nothing more exciting that I really get a kick out of on these episodes is having this like behind the scenes conversation and kind of asking the question, what book are you reading now? Like what are you reading and what are you taking away from what you're reading that you can share with myself or anybody else that's kind of like eavesdropping on our conversation? Because I love reading. I'm still working through a workbook called I Refuse to Live Talented and Broke. Amazing book by Delano Johnson. But let me do a mic check. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Oh, good. We're behind the scenes. So what book are you reading right now, and what lessons are you learning from it?
Oh, man. So my primary book right now that I'm reading is Understanding Your Potential by Dr. Miles Monroe. Many of you know this great. Oh, my gosh, she's phenomenal. But the biggest thing that I'm learning from this book right now is one of the things you talk about is that the graveyard is the richest place on the earth. Not the gold mines, not the diamond fields, but the graveyard. And so this really is like giving me that kick in the butt that I need to really remind myself that I want to die empty. I don't want to die full of all the thoughts, the visions, the dreams, the inventions, the different courses, and everything that's within me to really elevate not only my life, but the lives of those that are connected to me. I refuse to die full. I will leave this earth. And so this book, Understanding Your Potential, reminds me of that every single day.
Yeah, so when you say die empty, what pops in your mind? Like, how do you know you played full out? Don't worry, we're going to get going in a minute. How do you know you played full out?
So I think that I would say that we're never, I guess empty is sort of relative to being full, just to make it easier for people to understand the concept. But I believe that we are, as long as we have life in our bodies, that we are always evolving in that thing. So I just honestly look at that like it's doing as much as I can, like pushing through, pushing past, persevering through obstacles, setbacks, fear, doubt, all these different things. To me, when I say die empty, when you full. Like you may not know what empty feels like, but you definitely know when you full because you feel the regret. You feel like you have not expanded or lived your purpose.
When you talk about live your purpose, I'm just curious if can I take liberties for a moment? I mean, don't worry, we're going to be going live in just a second, but can I take liberties and do you mind taking a minute or two? We're behind the scenes and kind of sharing maybe the 2 or 3 minute version for me. Like, how did you get into this whole metaphysics? And we'll get into that on the show. But how did you get from where you were into this whole metaphysics that's helping you change not only your life, but you're changing the lives of others and you're increasing their business, which means they help more people.
That's right. So it started off very personal, like most things with most of us. We start out with whatever this thing is. I'm sure for you and your business, you started out fulfilling a personal desire for yourself. So for me, 3 years ago, I was a hairstylist, my backstory, a hairstylist for 15 years, created a 7-figure company, a 7-figure brand from hairstyling. However, I was financially successful. I had the money, but I still was not satisfied. I knew and felt like I was trapped behind my chair. And so in that moment, I decided, like, do I stay filled with regret? Do I stay filled with this dream that's locked up on the inside of me? I want to do something bigger. Or do I want to go out there and really chase my business dream? My business dream was to really influence, to be a speaker, have my own coaching and consulting firm, because I've always been really good at helping others strategize and live their dreams. And so 3 years ago, I made that shift from hairstylist to speaker and consultant, strategist, coach. That was a huge shift. I started I left something that I was really established and well known for doing well in, to doing something that was completely new to me. I started building this thing from scratch 3 years ago. And so that took me in a mental space. I decided to exit a business. My clientele was decreasing. I had sold my salon, and here I am in this new thing that I don't know nothing about. And I'm like, oh crap, did I make the wrong decision? So that really took me down through there. But I knew I couldn't stay there. I had to make a decision in that moment to choose to move forward regardless of me thinking about my past, regardless of, me thinking about everything that I had given up and taking on this gift of uncertainty in front of me. So in order to really handle what I was dealing with mentally and to handle even the spiritual and emotional components of what that shift, I guess what I was experiencing during that shift, it led me right to metaphysics.
Wow, that's like an amazing, incredible story. I want to say hello to Rhonda, who's out there. What's up, Rhonda Woods? I want to say hello to none other than Annette Smith. You're behind the scenes. You're getting a 101 of what's happening with the one and only Tye Miles, who's out there making it happen. You're just a rock star out in, where are you at again? You're in Mobile, Alabama? No, that's not where you are. Birmingham, Alabama. Now, are you from Birmingham, Alabama?
Yes, originally. Born and raised.
Oh, man, that is like so super cool. I'm super excited. We're going to get started. We're going to go ahead and kick this thing up. What's up, Loretta Bosch is in the house, by the way. For the person that's out there right now, as we get started, is telling themselves, you know what? Can I step into metaphysics? Can I change my mindset? Can I change my belief systems? Can I really get this business going? If you had 1 minute just to talk to that person, we got to get going. But what would you say to that person right now? I'm just curious.
I would say to the individual who's ready to make big change, step into their business dream, if you have thought it, you already have the capacity to create it. If it is a thought of yours, the mere fact that you are thinking about it and you desire it, you already have everything you need to create that in which you desire already on the inside of you. All you have to do is believe it and start taking small steps toward making it a reality.
I love it. Believe it and start taking small steps to make it a reality. With that being said, let me welcome Caressa. You're at the right place. Annette, you're at the right place. Thanks for joining. Rhonda, you're at the right place. Calvin, thanks a lot for joining. With that being said, we're going to get started. We're going to get kicked off. Y'all have been behind the scenes getting the insider stuff. We got to get going. The producer's giving me the cue now. So we'll be get going in 5, 4, 3, 2. That's what I did say 2. Did I say 2? I did say 2, didn't I? I know. Sometimes I laugh at my own self. Don't worry about that. 1, let's go ahead and get going. It's showtime.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur and the host of the show you're watching right now, the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. And I'm so excited for every single one of you who are showing up today, because I promise you, today is your day. Saucony Prince, today is your day. I promise you, Anisha, today is your day. Loretta, today is your day, because we're speaking to the one and only, the fabulous, the Wonder Woman herself, the person who makes it happen, none other than Tye Miles. Tye Miles, do a mic check, and say hello to everybody out there that's watching right now.
Hello. Welcome. So excited to be here.
He's so excited to be here. And one of the reasons I wanted her to say welcome, one of the reasons I wanted her to say hello is that we've got a lineup today where we're going to be talking about a number of different things, right? And one of the things we're talking about is how to get results in your life and results in your bank account. So if you're someone out there that's like, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm in network marketing, and I'm ready for a breakthrough in my life and my business, then I want you to pay close attention. I'm going to ask Tye in a moment, what's one of the reasons you should pay attention? What's one of the reasons you should tune in? What's one of the reasons why you should keep building yourself up? I'm going to ask you that. But first, I want to, Tye, go back to why it's important to me. And one of the things we talk about is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results to show up in your bank account. And that's a very, very important statement. It's an important mantra, and it's something that has led us, and it's something that we live by. So for those folks that are tuning in right now, for those folks that are watching, what's one of the reasons why they should tune in and make sure they get their paper and their pen and pay very close attention?
Absolutely, because the things that we're going to be talking about tonight, I know you've already seen the title. I mean, these things that all of us suffer with, like every single 5 ways that we are getting in our own way in business and in life. And you're going to want to have your pen and paper out, because I'm going to tell you the number one thing that you need to do to continuously make shifts, to continuously increase the quality of your life, but also the quantity of the money in your bank account. That's right.
Sure. Now, there's folks that are listening right now, and they may be curious. We're going to get into a segment in a moment, but as I acknowledge Tashika Pendleton, who's listening right now, they're probably wondering in their mind, what's one of the reasons you even agreed to share your information with the audience? And guess what? You didn't ask me for a Cash App before we got started. You didn't ask me for a wire transfer. You didn't ask me for a credit card number. You said, Shay, I show up to serve. I show up to give. I've got a vision for the people that I'm called to serve, and it's my mission. Hear me. What's up? I see you, Tashika. It's my mission. She says hello. It's my mission, Shay, to help others. Why do you believe that serving is so important?
Serving is the key. Serving is the key to everything. There's one thing that one of my mentors said a long time ago. You know, you have to give, and the getting will come later. But when you focus on the giving, focus on being a person of value, a change agent, opportunities will come. So my focus is not, like you said, on the Cash App. It's not on the paycheck. My focus is on being a person of value. And every day when I wake up, when I go to work, in my personal development, every client, this show tonight is all about giving. And I just trust that the getting is going to come later. I know it.
Yeah. One of the things we believe in here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show is we believe in the giver's economy. And the giver's economy says the person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. Let me say it again. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. You talked about bringing value. You talked about serving others, which is so important. Let me ask this question. As an entrepreneur and as someone that does this, how do you give back? What's one of the ways that you do that, and one of the ways that you serve? And then we're going to get into right now one of my favorite segments in the moment, which is an opportunity to motivate and encourage others with Champions Creed. But I just want to hear people hear what's on your heart. So what's one of the ways that you provide a service in your community or a service to other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, absolutely. So community is really huge. Me serving is really big. I'm a servant leader. That's just one of the things I live by. As far as my community, I give back to the local schools in the area. I partner with a couple of the organizations that really speak to the youth to help them begin to start thinking like entrepreneurs even now, even as students, to just elevate and encourage their imagination around owning their own instead of simply working for someone else. And there's nothing wrong with working for someone else, but helping them to understand that they can own too. And so I'm very intentional about working with the students within the kindergarten through 12th grade. As far as like working with my clients and offering, free content, I typically go on live and do free content there. I also do a couple of hosting speaking engagements. One of the things that I do for the women, because I'm very passionate about helping women through entrepreneurship, I host a Grown Woman Dinner Series. And this is where my ladies just come. Grown Woman Dinner Series.
What series?
Grown Woman Dinner Series.
Tell me a little about that. I like that. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Grown Woman Dinner Series is a very I say eclectic, kind of very casual dinner setting where I invite the women in, those that have big dreams, but they know that something is standing in their way. Either they are struggling with thoughts around self-esteem or insecurities or feelings of inadequacy. They're able to anonymously ask their questions, and then I give them live on the spot coaching, as well as they get to hear the stories of the different women that attend these events, because all of us are quick to share our successes. In this particular event, one of the things that I love to highlight are our failures, because I believe that our failures, and by showing our wounds, those are the things that really bring us closer together and allow us to see that, hey, she went through that, but look where she is now. Oh, she experienced that, but she overcame it. And, it's really just to encourage and to tell people that no matter where you are or what you're facing with right now, you can do it.
You can do it. I love it. You can do it no matter where you are. What's up, Gordon Young? Thanks for joining. I see you out there. Tashika, I hope I got that right. I always say Tashikite. Tashikite, make sure I'm pronouncing your name right, by the way. I love when you take notes. I love when you participate. She says, awesome job, by the way. Sakoni Prince says, hello, everyone that's out there right now. Loving what you're doing right now. Look, for those folks that are tuning in right now, you're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. When we come back, we're going to do one of our favorite segments, and one of my favorite segments that I love to do, it's called the Champions Creed. We'll be back, but we're going to go over to Sakoni Prince right now. We're going to go over to Sakoni Prince. He's going to talk about commitment, consistency, and confidence. Commitment, consistency, and confidence. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, everybody. How you doing today? This is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, and I am so excited. You know why? Because you guys are amazing. And look, I want to share with you my thought of the week. And my thought of the week is basically 3 C's. They are commitment, consistency, and confidence. You don't have so many people say, Sakoni, I want to be more consistent. I said, no, you don't. They say, what? I said, you don't want to be more consistent. You want to be more committed. Because see, it's your commitment that drives you to be consistent. It's your commitment that's going to make sure that you are doing what it is you said you wanted to do. That commitment will remind you of what you said, what you committed to. And that commitment will drive you to consistency. But something else I've learned is that once you're consistent doing whatever it is you've been called to do, that consistency will drive you to confidence. There's no way I could do the stuff that I'm doing right now if I didn't have a commitment to do it. And then that commitment made sure that I was consistent in it. And I mean, yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I've fallen down. Yes, I fell off. But my commitment reminded me, get back up and get back in the race. And then that consistency, guess what? It built up my confidence. So if you want to have confidence, you have to have consistency. But if you want to have consistency, you have to start with commitment. And look, this is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe giving you my thought of the week. And I want you to learn how to be committed, consistent, and then confident. And look, I thank you, Shay, and I appreciate you. Now back over to you.
I love it. You've got to be consistent. I love it. I love it. You got to be committed, and you have to have the confidence to do the things that you do every single day. I want to do a shout out to none other than Anisha, who's out there. She says, I love what you're saying, by the way. So she loves what you're saying right now as you're speaking to folks that are out there, Tye. And she's out in Las Vegas, an amazing, incredible human being, someone you've got to meet. She's a mom, 4 kids, a wife, and she does the whole package. I don't know how she does what she does, but she's always learning, always growing, and just a super rock star, by the way. Annette Smith put, it's your commitment that drives you to consistency, that drives you to confidence. For those folks that are out there, for those folks that are listening right now, we want to welcome you all to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Now, one of the things I love to do, Tye, I love to do a segment called the Champions Creed. And the Champions Creed is an opportunity for us to uplift, to empower, to encourage, and to inspire other folks that are watching out there right now. Now, the reason I mentioned that is, I know earlier when we were having a conversation, I told you that one of the missions of the Happy Entrepreneur Show is to inspire, empower, and provide the resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. So I always like to stop and I like to take a moment. I like to acknowledge. I like to pat someone on the back. I like to say great job. And this mantra that we're going to read, it was given to me by my mentor 15 years ago. And he said, Shay, you hold on to this in good times, and you hold on to this in bad times. And I've done that, and it's really made a difference for me. So I'm going to read it, and as I read it, every one of you who are watching right now, you all can participate. You all can participate. Here's how you can participate. You can look right below the video. You can look right below the video, and I want you to write these words. I want you to encourage someone else. I want you to write these words. You are a champion. Now, what words are you going to write? You're going to write words that you are a champion, hashtag serve so big. Our mantra is going to be hashtag serve so big. So you're going to look right below the video. You're going to look right below the video, and you're going to write these words. You are a champion. Now, you're encouraging another entrepreneur. You're encouraging someone that's doing really bad right now. They're struggling, but you tell them that they're a champion. It's like running a race. I've run 5 marathons. So right now, you're on the sideline, and you're seeing me coming down. You're like, high five. You're a champion, and you're a champion. Let me go ahead and read this. And Tye, when I finish, I'm going to see if you'll read this as well. I love to support other people. I love to applaud their efforts. And, you know, the more you give, the more you give, the more you get. Let me go ahead and share. It's called the Champions Creed. I'll go ahead and read it. The Happy Entrepreneur's Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying, and keep trying, and keep trying. I'm going to ask you, Tye, if you can see that. Can you see those words? You'll see them in a moment. And when I pull it up, do you mind reading those words? What's up, Tony Moore, one of the baddest legal attorneys out there, by the way, working on the trademarks, working on making sure you do your business right, keep it right, and stay out of trouble. What's up, Tony Moore? Now, you're going to read that. But when you finish reading it, I want you to do me a favor. Tye. They're going to hear how famous you are, okay? They're going to hear how great you are. We're going to talk about metaphysics. We're going to talk about you working with businesses. We're going to talk about the mentors you had. But do you mind taking a moment and sharing maybe a setback or a challenge, and you had to apply the principles you're about to read? Do you mind doing that?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay. I know that wasn't part of it, but hey, we're just hanging out. So Anisha says, you are a champion, hashtag serve so big. Annette says, you are a champion, hashtag serve so big. Tis Hike, she said I said it right. Tis Hike says, you are a champion, hashtag serve so big. It's my favorite segment. I love to encourage other people. Do you see those words, Tye?
I see them.
All right, you go ahead and read those words. And as Tye's reading those words, you all right below the video. Encourage someone else. Put you are a champion, hashtag serve so big. Take it away, Tye.
I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail. And keep trying, and keep trying.
I like it. She got the remix version.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. Things aren't going to work, but you got to get going. Talk to us about a time maybe that's happened for you. What lesson did you learn, and what can we take away from it?
Yes. So I can think of, 3 years ago, I invested in a very high level mastermind. And went through the mastermind. It's time to implement. So I've gotten all I need to get, all the pieces. I had them in place. It was time for me to actually execute, make the offer to my audience, to my tribe, and which I did. And so here I am selling tickets for an event, invested all this money, planned this big event. I think for this event, I had sold maybe 50 tickets. And so the very night before the event, I get a text saying that my daughter, and I'm very transparent, so y'all, this is just who I am. I got a text that night that my daughter was cutting. And of course, when I get this text that my daughter is cutting, I had to shut everything down. So here I am, everybody was excited. This, like I said, I'm making this shift to being seen as an expert in what I do at a very critical period when I'm sort of in between. People know me for what I used to do, and I'm trying to establish myself in something totally new. So people, their eyes were on me. And here I am, grand display of my new space, and the night before the event, I had to call everything off. And I did that without any regrets or without anything, because family comes first in that situation. So what I learned in that situation, so in that situation, I'm stepping out of something new, uncertain, and I had invested like tens of thousands of dollars into mentorship to do this thing, and then an additional thousands of dollars to have this event that I had to call off. And so inside, of course, I'm there with my daughter, but at the same time, I am like, I've just lost a major investment. I'm wondering what people are going to think about me. I'm wondering, will I be able to recover from this type of thing? Because I am one of those perfectionists, and I know I'm talking to a bunch of perfectionists out there. I know I'm talking to a bunch of people who have big goals, but at the same time, I needed to be present with my daughter, and I needed to, at the same time, be the expert at the very same time. So I was in that space. And what was present for me is that in that moment, receiving, first of all, just receiving that failure is only failure if you stop trying. I just read the Champion's Creed. And also I had to allow myself to be human and receive the support of other people. And in my being vulnerable, because a lot of us don't want to be, vulnerable and share how we are hurting or share how, man, I'm really disappointed. In that space of being vulnerable and being disappointed, not only did my tribe embrace me, but people that loved me reached out to me, and I was given another opportunity to work from home for a complete year at a really great, I was being paid really well, but they did that because they understood, they knew me from being established in my former career, and they knew how much I invested in my new thing. And so I had this opportunity for a whole year just to be at home with my daughter and help us both go through that healing. So the point for me is, for me, I learned that failure is not failure, and that you have to be vulnerable. I had to learn how to let my walls down and not withdraw from people, but to lean into the support. So for you who are listening from that story, I would say to you, if you're in a space where you're worried about what other people thinking, or you've tried and you failed, you invested big and the payout don't seem like it's here yet, I challenge you to keep trying. I challenge you to bring down your walls and open up to people that you trust, and allow the universe and allow those that love you and truly support you to show you some love and support right back. And if you don't have a circle like that, you need to change circles.
Wow, you need to change this. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. The Champion's Creed. Let me just hear you say, you are a champion.
You are a champion.
I love it. One more time.
I am a champion. You are a champion, and I am a champion. We are champions.
I like that. I like that. So she got her own remix. She said, I'm a champion. You're a champion. We are all champions. Everyone look right below the video and put, I am a champion. And we said you are a champion earlier because we were encouraging someone else. We were inspiring someone else. We were uplifting someone else. But Tyler did the remix version, all right? She came and said, no, Shay, I am a champion. You are a champion. And we are a champion. Do me a favor. Look right below the video. Look right below the video and just put, I am a champion. I want to acknowledge none other than Tony Moore. I see you, Tony Moore. She says, you are a champion. Kimberly Flowers, one of the baddest mamma jammers in the world. Kimberly, I'm following your orders. Thank you. Love you so much. She's out there in San Antonio, Texas. Nestle, what's going on, Nestle? Tashika said, look, keep on trying. Keep on trying. Look, when we come back, we're going to break that thing down. When we come back, Tye Miles, don't worry. She's going to give you the big secret that's holding people back. But we're going to get into metaphysics. Now, I'm just learning about it. I mean, I heard about it, read about it, but we're going to get behind the scenes to understand what it is and how it impacts our life. When we come back, we're going to go that way. Dwayne, I see you, says, I am a champion. And that said, don't leave me out. I am a champion. Do me a favor. Look right below that video. And when you see those words, if you're listening to the podcast, you can say out loud, just like Tye just said. Tye, say it one more time. I'm a what?
Champion.
I'm a what?
Champion.
So the podcaster, you can say, I'm a champion. If you listen to the conference call, say, I'm a champion. To give me the signal saying, Shay, we got to move on. Look, I'm a champion. You're a champion. We're all champions. We'll be right back. We're going to go over to none other than the one and only, the fabulous Kim Warren Martin, who's down in Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, by way of Silicon Valley. She just moved out there. And she says, you know what, Tye, you're right on target. you can have it all. We'll be back in just a moment with none other than Tye Miles on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I can't wait. See you in a moment.
Hey there, happy entrepreneurs. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled. And I'm excited because today is my January 1st. And because I get to bring you my thought of the week here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You guys are awesome. This week's thought is, you can #have it all. When I was in corporate America, I ran a global women's initiative to help women get to the top of a corporation. And there was a lot of talk about work-life balance, work-life management, etc. And one thought that circulated was that you simply cannot have it all. Another thought was you can have it all, just not all at once. Well, neither idea was comforting to women who desired both success and fulfillment. So what I learned was that for most people, it all is defined externally and comes through conditioning from our families, our schools, TV, etc. But since then, I've discovered that you can #have it all as long as you're the one who defines what it all means. So how do you do that? Well, a simple first step is to begin by answering the following 3 questions. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, what do I want? And number 3, why do I want it? When you answer these questions, do it on paper and be very transparent and do it in a space where you won't be disturbed. And what you'll want to do is answer each question 7 times. So for example, you'll want to ask yourself, who am I? And answer it 7 times without repeating a single response. You'll find that the final response to each question typically gets to the core of the question itself. So it'll get to the core of who you are, what you want, and why you want it. Now that's a very simple step to get started defining what it all means to you. So that's my thought of the week here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You can #have it all. I'm Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled. Until next week, make it a great day. Back over to you, Shay.
#you can have it all. #I can have it all. You know, we're going to do something great today, and we're doing something great with the one and only, none other than Tye Miles. Tashika, I see you out there, says, yes, #I can have it all. Look, we're here with none other than Tye Miles. And Tye Miles is just an incredible, wonderful human being. And you'll read about how special she is. But we're going to get into a very special segment now, because one of the things that was a turning point for her was something called metaphysics. But Tye, they may not have time to go read your bio now. Some folks have already done the research of you online, Tye, Tye Miles. But I'd like for you, if you can, to take a moment and tell us the journey. I know we were behind the scenes earlier of where you were, and then how did you land into metaphysics, and then we'll talk about what it is. So do you mind just telling us that story? How did you get to where you are, so the audience knows, because they're curious, like, what's the backstory here? Right. And then how you got into metaphysics, and then we'll talk about later how it impacts their life and their business. I want to say hello, if I can, real quickly, to none other than Nestle. Nestle's in the house, says, oh my gosh, this is going to be good. Yeah, it is. She's about to bring the fire. Take it on, Tye.
Yeah, so my journey to metaphysics the last chapter of my life, my new chapter started about 3 years ago. I'm a former hairstylist, salon owner. Through hairstyling, through the use of my hands, I've been blessed to be able to earn millions, created a 7-figure beauty brand with my hands, is how I like to say, with my hands. And within that, after so many years, I'm getting older. I have always had an exit strategy, knew I wanted to do something different, but didn't know what that looked like. And honestly thought that doing something different would look like having a chain of hair salons that I would, be able to meet my multi-millionaire status on. Well, 3 years ago, I started to be unsatisfied. I found more and more that I was no longer passionate about what I was doing, still passionate at earning money, but something else had piqued my interest. And so I started to begin to feel trapped behind the chair. And I just like to tell you all, like, anytime you feel trapped in anything, that's a sign that there's something greater for you. And so the more I was feeling trapped, the less that making that money was as important to me, which is important. I'm in business. But I decided that, Tye, if you're going to go for it, if you're going to say you trust God, if you're going to say that, you have this bigger dream, you have to go past just thinking of the idea and wanting to do it. You have to actually take action. And so I did that. Now, doing that, making that decision to do that was really, really tough because, saying you're going to do something and actually walking or talking walking it is a different thing. So once I made the decision, I'm the type of girl that I have to pretty much burn my boat, my bridges, and my paddle if I'm going to really do the thing. So I sold my salon. I shut down business completely to take on a thing that I was totally new with. So shifting from being a hairstylist to a business strategist, I had to learn all about business acumen. I had to learn all the ropes of building a business, all that good stuff. And so at the same time, I was the highest earner for my family. And I had to navigate that. And my kids were used to a certain level of lifestyle, a certain quality of life. And so I had to sit down with everybody and say, hey, we're not going to be able to go on these many vacations. We're going to be on a budget. And it wasn't as easy to adjust to. So here I am being the one from my family that usually carry the brunt of it in a very vulnerable position of, reducing my lifestyle, learning to really treasure the memories and the smaller things in this period of transition so that we can transition to this bigger business dream that I had. My whole family had to invest in it, but it was extremely difficult. And while I'm excited that I was able to navigate through that, I found myself, to be quite honest, very depressed some days, feeling very defeated some days, questioning my decision to do this. Like, what the heck are you thinking? Like, you were doing really great, making good money. Why couldn't you just be satisfied with what you had? Why you have to dream so big? Why you have to want to make such a big difference in the world? Why can't you just settle with being, with your family being well? Why you want to go help everybody else? And I think I heard you say something, Shay, one time. You said you wanted to be significant. You just didn't want to be successful. You wanted to be significant. I don't even know if you remember saying that, but that stuck with me. And that's exactly how I was. It wasn't good enough that I was making all that money. I wanted to be in a position where I can be that hand up to help others do the same, which means I had to go through that transition myself. So here I am feeling like, did I really hear God? So I'm questioning myself, second guessing myself. You got self-doubt coming in. And so I'm in a place where I don't have no choice. I can't go back. And all I have is in front of me. So at this point, I'm like, okay, Tye, what do I need? What do you need to get it together? Metaphysics was that thing for me. Metaphysics served as this very beautiful experience, deep dive. Like deciding to take my business dream to the next level was the biggest personal development deep dive I've ever launched. And so I had to go deep.
And
Who are you?
Did someone just introduce you to it? First of all, thanks for being transparent. I know you're going to do that. That's a remarkable story. Congratulations on transitioning from one business to another business. That's very, very difficult. You mentioned the word metaphysics. I like, if you can, one, to tell us kind of how did you get introduced to it? Was it something that you just saw on YouTube one day? Was it something that you just came across your Facebook feed? And then from there, what is metaphysics? What is metaphysics? For those folks that are watching and tuned in right now, you're here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Want to do a shout out to Joy Council, who's watching. Thanks a lot, Joy. We appreciate you. Yvette. Hey, Yvette. Yvette's on the line. What's up, Yvette? Thanks for being in the house. And Jacqueline Taylor Adams, it is always a pleasure. Look, you have permission to hit the share button. You have permission to hit the share button. You can share this with your tribe. So do me a favor. Take a moment. Hit the share button. Hit the share button, because we're going to talk about how to get results in your life. We're going to be talking about how to build your life. And we're also going to be talking about how that's going to build your business. She's going to get to that. But right now, she's just kind of breaking down how she got to metaphysics, who introduced her to it, and what it is. All right, so who introduced you to it, and what is it? Because, people have different definitions for things.
Yes, that's so good. So I think we all are introduced to parts of it. We may not call it or know it to be metaphysics, but I would say that my first the community, the mastermind that I was a part of, so many beautiful people that believe in so many believe in a higher power, and we express it in all different ways. And so, some of them express that through visualization. Some of them express that through meditation. Some of them express that through card reading. Some of them express that through numerology. It's so many different ways. And so I saw it all around me. I have all these successful people around me, and they all exercise different variations of metaphysics in their in their life in order to elevate their business, in order to center them and anchor themselves down into their most awesome self. And so I'm like, gosh, this is really incredible. Let me look more into this. So I was introduced to it, not by one person, but by the combination of the various people that was in my community. So that's how I was introduced to it, to take a longer look. But I really think metaphysics found me. Now, what it is, if you break the word down, metaphysics, meta means before, and physics mean physical. So before physical. And some people easily say it's spiritual. I like to say invisible. So it's basically everything that is natural is first invisible. Everything you see visible in the natural is first invisible in another world, a spiritual realm, a spiritual world. Even if you think of a thought, your business was first a thought. It was invisible before it became tangible or visible. And so that's really, metaphysics is the study of first principles, the study of how things first start. And so, yeah, invisible to visible. That's the bigger key piece I like to say. It can get much deeper. Many of us use some of the tools and techniques taught within metaphysics, as I mentioned earlier: meditation, affirmations, visualization, positive thought reprogramming. All of these things are things that we do daily that we may not necessarily associate with being metaphysics, but it is a form of metaphysics. And so I know a lot of times I'm in the South. And so as a minister for most of my life, I've been a licensed minister for 19 years. People just tell me, like, Tye, how do you get that? Like, how did you get all the way to that spectrum? That's that super woo-woo stuff. But this is what you're talking about with controlling your thoughts and taking control over what you allow yourself to think, because we are what we think and believe about ourselves. So metaphysics is just what are your beliefs? How are you taking your beliefs and transforming those beliefs into behaviors that will get you a successful or desirable result in your life?
Wow, I love that. Transforming your beliefs into behaviors. Transforming your beliefs into behaviors. We're talking to none other than the one and only Tye Miles. When we come back, I'm going to ask her what are some affirmations she has. That's number one. And number two, how did she shift her beliefs? Now, why is that important? How does that relate to you? Because right now, as you're watching, you might be telling yourself, this is my year, but there's a struggle. Yes, I went after the big count, but I didn't get it. Yes, intellectually, I get it, Shay, but it's not happening. Stay tuned. We're talking about the before and the what? After. Is that right? The before and the physical?
Invisible to the visible.
Invisible to the invisible. We'll be right back with none other than the one and only Tye. We're going to find out what are affirmations she's used. We're going to find out, more importantly, how does she shift her belief system? Something that she studied. She's going to share with us. Don't worry. I got it on the list to immediately get to, what's sabotaging our business? What can we do to turn this thing around? I'm going to get to that, but I want you to step back for a moment, and I want you to think about how you can shift that. Now, you're already incredible or you wouldn't be here. Only winners are watching right now. Only those folks who believe they had a potential inside of them to perform at a higher level are watching right now. So you tune in, but we're going to take it to another level. Right now, we're going to go to Dr. Shayna Lewis out there in Houston, Texas. And I love what she talks about. She says, now is your time. This is your moment. And we're going to own it. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Hey family, this is your girl, Dr. Shayna, and founder of Your Extraordinary Life Network. And today is my January 1st. And I'm super excited to be here with you again in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe with the thought for the week. My thought for this week is, now is the time. Now is the time. One of the things that I know is that many of us will wait for the perfect time before we make any moves. The perfect time to get married, the perfect time to buy a house, the perfect time to have a baby, the perfect time to switch jobs, the perfect time to become an entrepreneur. This is the thing that I know. There is no perfect time. You see, while we wait on the perfect time, you're really waiting on a unicorn that you're never actually going to find. Because the answer is, all you really got is right now. I'm reminded of the time when I was actually considering becoming an entrepreneur myself, and I was waiting on the perfect time. But one day I was sitting at home with my brand new baby girl on leave, and I remember thinking to myself, there is no way I can go back to anybody else's job and not be in control of the time I get to spend with my little one. Was it a perfect time? Absolutely not. But was it the time? Absolutely it was. So what I want you to do is think about what is something that you've been sitting on, waiting on the perfect time to show up. What happens is you may actually miss a perfect opportunity while you wait on a perfect time. So instead of doing that, decide what that thing is right now today and move. Stop waiting on the perfect time and understand that all you really got is right now, because now is the time. Here's to your extraordinary life. Till next time.
Until next time, now is your time. We'll do a little remarks. I want you to look right below the video. Look right below the video. All of you who are watching right now. What's up, Mary Figures? I see you. She says, what's up? Hello, hello. We're live. We're here. We're here with Tye Miles. That's right. But do me a favor, by the way. Do me a favor. Look right below the video and just write these words. It's my time. It's my time to reclaim my relationship. It's my time to reclaim my finances. It's my time to reclaim my health. It's my time to reclaim my clients. It's my time. And so I'm going to own the day, and I'm going to own my life. Look, one thing we know for sure is your past does not equal your future. You cannot live in the past. You can only live in the present moment, and we can own that moment. And I believe that with every fiber of my being. And so as we're talking to Tye Miles, we're having this conversation. I want to ask her, she talked about metaphysics. I want to talk to her about affirmations, and maybe she'll share one or two affirmations she has. And then behind that, how do we shift our limiting beliefs? As you see Dwayne Donato put, it's my time. And you see Annette Smith says, it's my time. There may be a little voice in the back of their head saying, there you go, saying that again. No, we've done this before. No, we've seen this movie. Is this even real? Like, you have so much debt going on, or he doesn't love you, or she doesn't love you, or whatever it is. I read somewhere that we're talking to ourselves at 70,000 thoughts a day, with 99% of them being negative. So I want you to talk about affirmations from a metaphysics perspective, but then how do you shift limiting beliefs? I want to recognize none other than Loretta Bosch who put, it's my time. I want to recognize Tashik, it's my time. And to hike, I know it is. I believe it is. But now, Tye's going to talk about how do you get there. Over to you, Tye.
Yeah, so a couple of the affirmations that I'm currently saying right now, a few of the ones I say all the time are just simple, I am. I believe I am is just two of the most powerful words that any individual can use to create the life that they want. So start with I am healed. I am whole. I lack nothing. I am powerful. I am creative. But the one that I've been saying a lot lately and really been focusing on, saying this literally up to 100 times a day, is I am a person of value. The value I provide, people pay millions for. I am a person of value. The value I provide, people pay millions for. And I say that. Now, a lot of people, there's just one level too, and this shifting toward to like, how do you take it from being a belief to being an actual behavior? Shay, you were speaking about how to actually start breaking those limiting beliefs. It's through taking it from a belief, from saying just words. And I think a lot of individuals with their affirmations, they're staying on the basement level. They're staying on the level of reading the words and not really feeling into it. And one of the ways that for myself, and I teach my clients, you have to take the words to the next level by feeling into actual, like, how much emotion can you bring to it? So say, for instance, that statement I said, I'm a person of value. That's the affirmation that I say. How do you feel into that? So to give you a clear example, I would think to myself, what does it feel like to be a person of value? What does a person of value do? And I would literally close my eyes and make that thought become, like, feel so real, like a motion picture. Like seeing myself, say for instance, if I felt like a person of value, people would call me to book me to speak or train. So that's what would happen if I was the person of value. Then I visualize myself getting the phone call and saying, thank you for the opportunity. That's you taking it to the next level. And when you think like that, now you are training your mind and training your actions. You're literally like the invisible, training your physical actions to follow what you're thinking. And so now you begin to act in the same way, congruent to what you're thinking. So that's sort of how you take your affirmation and begin to break through whatever barriers you have around limiting beliefs. And the simple thing is, it's just starting. You just have to take it from a belief to taking some type of action toward realizing it.
And what do you say to the person that's watching right now that's saying, okay, I've heard that. What is something maybe, Tye, you're working on to shift your belief system? And I know for me, as I'm looking out there and I see Jacqueline Fulton who's joining. What's up, Jacqueline? Thanks for joining. It's always a pleasure. Dwayne said, I am a person of value. Annette says, I am a person of value. Tahike says, I am a person of value. You know, one thing that you tell myself all the time is that I'm not a techie. I'm not a techie. And I believe that. And then one day, Trevor and I were working on something, and he refused. I shouldn't say refused. He didn't have time to help me, and I got frustrated. So I went to YouTube and tried to figure out this program, and I worked it out. And since that day, I started telling myself, each day I'm getting better and better at technology. Each day I'm getting better and better at technology, and I can do it. I just have to take my time. What's something you're working on right now? And I know the reason I asked that question is, you know, people might think she's perfect. There's nothing she has to work on. So I'm just curious, what's a limiting belief that you're working yourself through right now? And then for me, as you were saying that, I was thinking to myself, I used to tell myself that I'm tired. Like, okay, all right, I just finished this show. I got to do some other things. In the morning, for at least the first like month or 2 months, I say, oh, I'm going to be tired tomorrow. No, I know it. I already know it. I'm going to have to push through. It's going to be a struggle. And then it's surprising as soon as I start telling myself, no, I've got the energy. And I've got the vitality. I'll sleep an extra hour. I'll sleep an extra 2 hours. It's okay. It shifted for me. So I'd like to know, what are you working on right now? And what's kind of a limiting belief in the breakthrough you're looking for?
Absolutely. So, you know, I've been transparent this whole time, a real transparent person. So today, I actually got a call to be to train billionaires and millionaires in the real estate industry. And so a limiting belief that I've been working on is around not being good enough, or not being, I guess I'm going to leave it at that. If I get to the root of it, not feeling like I'm good enough. So when I got that call to train billionaires and millionaires in the real estate industry, immediately I'm like, I'm not good enough yet to teach billionaires. That's my first thought, that resistance. I start feeling some resistance around being in a room with billionaires and millionaires, and then actually feeling like I have something of value to teach them. And so I had to anchor myself in my statement in the affirmation that I have been saying, I am valuable. I am a person of value. And I had to remember that. So the congruent action, I think a lot of times, and you know, we'll talk about this more when we get to those 5 things, a lot of times that because of our limiting beliefs, we shut off opportunities. I could have easily not even entertained that conversation and said, oh, you know, that's not me, but I can send you to someone else. But instead, I thought to my affirmation, I am a person of value. Listen, I am well trained and equipped in what I do. If I really just take the emotions out of it, I know I've been trained for it. I've been practicing it. I have results. My clients are getting results. It is only because that self-doubt or that limiting belief that caused me to shrink back from it at first. But instead of shrinking back, I allowed the phone call to come, had the conversation, and said yes. And yes grew me instantly. Like yes shifted me through breaking through a limiting belief. So I just broke through just like that.
Wow, broke through just like that. Everyone that's watching right now, let's just say congrats. Just say good job, Tye, T-Y-A. Just look right below the video. We'll give her a digital applause. 1, for being transparent. 2, for being authentic. And 3, for stepping outside her comfort zone. Look right below the video. And just write these words. Great job, Tye. Tye, we appreciate you. Tye, you can do this. Tye, you are enough. And as you're saying it to Tye, you're not only saying it to Tye, you're saying it to someone else who's watching and reading those comments right now. Jacqueline, I believe you're a person of value. Tahike, I believe you're a person of value. Annette, I believe you're a person of value. You are a person of value. With that being said, when we come back, don't worry, we're going to get into what's holding us back and what's sabotaging us, but you're talking to none other than one and only Tye. And I'm going to ask her, hey, what mentors have you had along the way, and what's the one lesson you learned from them that you would share from us? Observing them and watching them, what would you share with us? Now, Venus out there says, Venus Patient said, you are doing a good job. Thanks a lot, by the way. Annette said, great job, Tye. Jacqueline says, great job, Tye. We appreciate you and all the effort and all the time you're doing. Look right below the video and just say thank you. We appreciate you because she's being authentic and she's giving us the best she has, and certainly we appreciate that. What's up, Joy Council? It is always a pleasure. You're bringing out the all-stars, Tye. You're bringing out the all-stars. She said, you are a person of value. Levette said, look, great job. We appreciate you. We're going to go over to none other than Dr. Kenneth Thigpen. And she talks about focus on progress, not perfection. One of our producers. When we come back, we're going to find out one or two mentors she had, what she learned from them, and a lesson she's going to share with you that you can take it away from. Then I'm going to ask about that background. I'm going to ask her what we're looking at behind her, by the way. I'm curious, by the way. I do. I'm just curious. Thanks, all for joining. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We'll be back in just a moment. Over to you, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you, #NextSisterUp. Today, I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe. And guess what? It's my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Focus on progress, not perfection. Focus on progress, not perfection. Here's the thing. It took me 3 years, count them, 1, 2, 3 years to release my first book. Why? I was focusing on perfection. I would write and rewrite. I would read and reread. I would add stuff in and take stuff out. And I'll never forget, one of my friends had launched his book and he had posted it on social media, and someone had the nerves to comment, on page 36, there's a word that's spelled incorrectly. It should be spelled like this. And I said, that will not be me. My book is going to be perfect. Now, how crazy of me to think that my book was going to be perfect. But here's what I learned. When you focus on perfection, it slows you down. It slows you down because you're trying to obtain something that doesn't even exist. The second thing I learned was when I focus on perfection, that there was a lot of negative self-talk that was going on. I like to call it mental assault on myself. And the third thing I learned was when I was focusing on perfection, that I was inconsistent, where I would go really hard and then I would stop, and then I would go really hard and then I would stop. But on the other side, when you focus on progress, it motivates you to keep going. Chapter 1 complete, yes. Chapter 2 complete, yes. Chapter 3 complete, yes. It also, when you focus on progress, it allows you to celebrate those small successes, no matter how big or how small. And lastly, when you focus on progress, it allows you to sustain yourself for the long haul so that you can complete the project and start your next one. Remember, shift your focus from perfection to progress. I'm your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Shift your focus. Focus on progress, not perfection. How true is that? What's going on, Michelle Pillar? Thanks so much for joining Venus. We see you out there. She's giving you some love. She's giving you some love out there. Do me a favor. Focus on what? Progress, not perfection. That's right. Focus on progress. How can you put one foot in front of the other and keep on going? We're here with none other than Tye. And Tye Miles is out of, I keep saying Alabama. I keep saying McIntosh, but it's not McIntosh. She's not in McIntosh. She's not in Mobile, Alabama. What part of Alabama are you in, Tye?
Birmingham.
Birmingham. I can remember that. How can I not? Birmingham, Alabama in the house. She's telling the story how she went from being the #1 hairdresser, making money, to changing the career that she's in right now. She's sharing the story and the path and how she got there. Now I'm going to ask her one or two mentors that she's worked under. And what she observed working under them are lessons that she learned that she's going to share with us that we can take away from. So get your paper, get your pen, and get ready. So, Tye, the question is, what's one of the mentors that you worked with, or learned from that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thought I went to one of my mentors. His name is James Wealthy. And one of the things he would tell me all the time, and this is just really the mindset shift part. A lot of what I do is mindset now. But he would always say, you can't be big when little got you. You can't be big when little got you. He was always like encouraging me to think bigger, to do bigger, to take bolder action. because that same old small thinking, same old small doing, or doing it like someone else, it's not going to get you the results that you want, Tye. So stop reducing yourself. Yeah. And if I could just share a second one, I would say Lisa Sasevich. Lisa Sasevich, she's known as the queen of sales conversion. And one of the things that I took away from her is stop waiting for someone else to come up to your door, your front door, and knock on it and say you are good enough to do whatever you do. She said, Tye, you have to crown your own self queen. And what I would say to you is crown your own self queen or king of whatever your thing is. Stop focusing on what you are not. Stop focusing on the things that you're not even good at. You know what you are good at. So make that thing your thing, own it, and then crown yourself queen of it. And that's exactly what I've done.
Right. I love it. I love it. And how did you find your mentors? I'm just curious, how did you get there?
I believe in mentors. So actually one mentor referred another mentor. The next mentor said, hey, you're ready for this. This is who you need to check out next. So really referral. One coach or mentor referring another coach or mentor.
Wow, what a blessing. And how do you mentor others? Let's say you're talking to someone right now and they're watching, they're listening, and what would you say to that person for them to be able to mentor someone else, to be able to pass it forward? Don't worry, we're going to get into how people are sabotaging their business. We're going to get into how they can stop doing that and grow their business. But first, when you're working with someone else and you're helping them mentor someone else, what are one or two ideas that you share with them?
So I want to make sure I hear this right. You said that one or two ways that how I mentor, or how I would suggest someone else mentor?
How you suggest someone else mentor, because there's folks on here right now that are looking for mentors. And one of the things my father used to always say to me is, he used to tell me, hey, you're always in the middle, son. There's someone doing really, really well, and you need to have mentors to help get there. And there's someone that's not doing as well as you are, and you want to be a mentor to them. And I used to always ask myself, well, how do I know I'm the right type of mentor, that I'm just me telling them what I'm doing? And I'm just curious if you have a tip or idea or suggestion for someone that has to mentor someone else and they want to pay it forward. They want to serve someone else with the gifts and talents they have.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the ways I believe as lifting as I rise. And so for me, in my head, I visualize like a hand going down to lift and then a hand up. And so one of the ways that I do that is I would suggest, if you're looking to be a blessing to someone else or help someone else who's haven't arrived to where you are, I would say just remain approachable. That is the biggest thing. Remain approachable. Be human. If you can humanize whatever you do and really empathize with that person, help them to be seen and feel heard. Because I know there have been several times where I've looked up to certain people, and when I'm in their presence or when I reach out to them on social media, I get crickets. And so I would just say the first thing for any mentor, any person is in a position where someone else look up to you, remain approachable, be human, respond back. If it's just 2 words, give them a piece of something. You'll be amazed at how just like so happy you inbox me could really like shift a person. Like Tye Miles inboxed me back, literally. When that happened to me the first time, when someone screenshotted that, I was amazed that just a simple, I'm so happy you inboxed me, really lifted that individual. So just be approachable. And I say the next thing that I would say when you're looking for a mentor, I always say look for signs of success first. I have been one who have like been so zealous about achieving whatever I achieved. And there are a lot of people out there, and I'm a huge fan of branding, but they brand themselves so well to make it look successful, but the person has not yet gotten to the point of success where they're ready to take on a mentor because they're still trying to get results for themselves in that same very area. So I would say for a person looking for a mentor, I would say definitely look for signs of success beyond the pretty branding. Look for results.
Look for, that's perfect. That is right on target. I love what you shared. It's just what I'm hearing, and this is kind of what I want to get over to the audience now, and it might be on their mind, is kind of like, well, she's been mentored. She's mentored other people. She's helping other folks. But, what do you think has been your unique skill that has really helped you be successful to where you are right now? Because I love how you said, you know what, look at other folks and see if they've been successful. But what are your unique skills that help you become successful? For someone that's looking at you and say, you know what, this is a great mentor for me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really think my superpower or my unique skill is confidence. And I'm gonna challenge, like, I'm not talking about confidence in a way of believing in myself. That's good. And we all should have belief. And I definitely believe at the same time, confidence is situational. In some situations, you're not as confident, in others you really are. But I would say that my skill is confidence. And when I say confidence, confidence to me is the ability to take action in spite of, the ability to take action regardless of. Because the more you take action and the more you practice and do something, the better you become. And the more you increase your competency, the more you increase your confidence. So that's sort of like when I see a confident person, I see a well-practiced person. I see a person who's in action. I see a person who's willing to try. And I think that's my skill. I would say my super skill is that I'm not afraid to try. I've learned to not be afraid to try, even when I feel all the different feelings that, comes up when we're doing something new. I think my unique skill is confidence.
I love it. I love it. You're talking to none other than the one and only Tye herself. You're here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. When we come back, I'm going to have her break down this whole thing on the 5 ways that entrepreneurs are self-sabotaging. And the one thing, what's the one thing? Seriously, what's the one thing that you can do to stop that immediately? Because isn't that what we want to do at the end of the day? We want to understand, how do we stop that? In a moment, we're going to go over to one of our producers. They're queuing it up. We're going to go over to none other than Iris. Iris is over in Atlanta. And I love what Tye was just talking about, because she didn't say you had to be an introvert. She didn't say you had to be an extrovert. She didn't say you had to be like someone else. She said you can be yourself, and you can have and identify your own superpowers. With that being said, we're going to go over to Iris, who's going to be talking about how introverts can still do some amazing, incredible things. How introverts make great leaders. We'll be back in just a moment with none other than the Tye Miles.
Hello everyone, Iris Alliston here of the Alliston Group, and today is my January 1st. I'm so excited to share my thought of the week with the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe. And by the way, you guys are amazing. You guys rock. My theme this month is why introverts make great entrepreneurs. I think we make great entrepreneurs due to the fact that a lot of us like to get to the heart of the matter or get down to the issue. And what I mean by this is we like to dive deeper into conversations, focusing on more meaningful topics, because we're really great at asking the right questions, and we're also great listeners, which, by the way, it makes us great interviewers, by the way, right? And this could be very handy if you're in a leadership role, if you will. People also find it easier to open up to us. Now, I'm not saying that we don't enjoy occasional small conversations. On the contrary, we also enjoy many good conversations. But if given a chance, we'd prefer meaningful ones rather than small talk or chit-chat. So keep having those deep conversations with people and being an incredibly talented conversationalist that you are. All right, hope this is helpful for you. Until next time, make it a brilliant day.
Make it a brilliant day. We're here with Tye Miles. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And right now we're getting to the idea that's been on our mind. The 5 things that are really holding us back as entrepreneurs. How are we sabotaging ourselves? We just talk about how wonderful we are. We talk about how great we are. And now we come back and say, well, at the end of the day, what's kind of holding me back? And then what's the one thing I need to do? What's the one thing? But first, give us the 5 things that are holding people back right now that we're doing to sabotaging our business and our relationship.
All right, this is cool. So we know that, you're tuning in right now, especially if you're tuning in right now. You have a business dream. You have something that you want to accomplish. And the 5 things that I'm about to share with you, they are all things that I struggle with. And I can guarantee you that these are all things that each of us, if we're not currently struggling with, we'll struggle with them at some point. And so these 5 things I like to break down. The first one is our habits, our daily habits. And particularly 3 of these The first one are, those habits are your thinking. What is your habit of thinking? The second one is your time. What are you using your time towards? These are daily habits. What have you gotten in the habit of using your time towards? And the last one is your treasures. How are you using your treasures? And when I say treasures, I'm talking about your money. I'm talking about your gift. I'm talking about your abilities, your skill set, whatever these three things are. What are you doing every day with those things? What are your habits around your thinking, your time, and your treasures? Your gifts, talents, abilities, and skill sets. Because if you're not a good steward with your habits, it doesn't matter what you do, your habits are going to dictate your end result. The second way that we are self-sabotaging, and I used to do this a lot, is through hiding. And you may say, well, Tye, I'm not hiding. I'm out there every day doing my thing. Well, I would have to say, what are you doing? What are you doing to avoid? We practice this thing called avoidance. So for instance, earlier this week, I had this long checklist to respond to emails. And I kept finding other things to do instead of responding to the emails. I was avoiding the emails by being busy with other stuff, not productive with other stuff. I was hiding behind the other things instead of tackling the emails that I knew I needed to do. Okay, so hiding is the second thing. The third thing is hesitation. And I've actually been doing really well with this one because I've been calling myself to the carpet. Hesitate. You need to send that email to pitch yourself. You need to schedule the call so that you can get on the phone with a potential client. We know we need to do these things, but we hesitate. So we get caught up in I'll do this later, when really we should jump on and do that thing now. And I have really been championing this area of hesitating. I've been killing it on LinkedIn, y'all. On LinkedIn, when I see someone and we have people in common or we have some synergy, I jump into their inbox right then and introduce themselves and give them a day of the week and 2 times that I'm available. And when I tell you, I've been having some amazing conversations and, even booking out 2020 just by doing that one thing because I refused to hesitate. I just went ahead and did it. And so the fourth thing is being hypercritical. We talk about this thing, I think they call it analysis paralysis. We want to wait till things are perfect before we do it. And when you find yourself always planning, you are self-sabotaging, whether you believe it or not. You are holding yourself back from the thing that you say you really want. And I heard one of my business partners, she said this. She said a lot of times, as entrepreneurs, especially when we get in business, you're making money in your business. We think that the learning is the doing. But in reality, the doing is the learning. You got to get out there and do. And so that last area is helplessness. I don't know what I need to do to move forward. I know I want to do this, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Or you say it may sound like this person won't help me because you're looking for the help to come in a particular way. So you find yourself trapped in this helplessness. So the way that you cure this, and there's no big science about it. I'm telling you, what I'm going to say is so simple. Y'all going to be like, we've been talking about this all night. The one thing that you need to do to stop sabotaging yourself is to literally start trying. But you need to ask yourself a question first. And this question is, you need to be real with yourself. What's the story? What are the stories you're telling yourself to keep you from moving forward? And let's see, I have another question here. What are you doing to talk yourself out of moving forward? What are you doing to talk yourself out of moving forward? So when you're really honest with yourself around those 2 questions, what are you doing to talk yourself out of moving forward on your business dream? And what stories are you telling yourself as to why you shouldn't do whatever it is that you want to do? Because uncertainty brings up all of these things. And everything I just mentioned is really rooted in self-doubt. And the only way to conquer self-doubt, if you really want to realize that business dream of yours, whatever it is, you need to take action. You have to get to the place where you are executing. You have to transition the behavior. You have to transition that belief, what you say you want in your business, to behaviors that actually support your business dream that you want to realize. And I know saying it is much easier than doing it, but being successful in business, it doesn't have to be really complicated. Success in business is for the person who is relentless. You don't care about what other people think about the actions that you're taking. You are focused on specific actions, and you are willing to try and take action daily towards accomplishing that predetermined goal of yours.
You know, I love when you talk about taking action. I love talking about starting to try. Thanks for being transparent. As I'm looking out there right now, see what's up, Karen Cherry with Success Women's Conference. We'll be seeing her next week, by the way. She's out there watching now. Always a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Lady Constance is in the house. Says hello. She said, the doing is in the learning. The doing is in the learning. You know, what do you say out there? What's up, lady? I see you. She says, conquer self-doubt. What do you say to the person that's listening right now and say, you know, how do I just get started? Like, I'm hearing you. I know I need to do it. But how do you take a baby step and even get going? Or I really need to be back on track again. You know, life is a series of being on track and then you're off track. So my question to you, Tye, is what's one suggestion you would have to the person that says, I'm off track right now. Like, I'm going to do it, but I've been telling myself I'm going to do it, and I just haven't done it. Is there a recommendation that you have? And because for those folks that are listening right now, this is not a conversation around what you've heard.
Right.
It's not a conversation with what you read. It's not even a conversation around what you know. What I like what Tye says, a conversation around what are you doing every moment of every minute of every day to move the ball forward. So what do you say to that person who needs to get back on track, Tye? How do they do it? How do they get back on track and stay on track?
Yeah, so the first thing you have to do is have an honest conversation. You have to be real with yourself. Like, I know that I said I was going to do this, but, you know, quite honestly, I can't expect that result because I haven't been doing it. And even if you're not at a place where you feel like you can be real enough to say that to yourself, you may be like, I'm tired of feeling in the dumps. I'm tired of feeling depressed. I'm tired of feeling down. I'm tired of feeling like a loser, because these are real things that my clients say to me all the time. And I'm talking about, these are some freaking amazing clients that I work with that still feel this way. So the first thing you got to do, are you tired of feeling the way that you feel? So you have to confront the feeling. And the second thing I would say is that you have to be specific. In order to take action, you got to be specific. You can't just say, make these old vague goals or vague tasks. Like, I want to grow my business. And as long as there's a lot of ambiguity around there. It's real vague. It's very open. So you have to get specific. You have to say, okay, one thing I can do this week to move forward is, you know, quantify the goal. I want to talk to 3 people this week, 3 potential clients this week. So if you were feeling the dumps, you know you haven't really been doing much in your business to get revenue in, and this is just an example, you could say, okay, I'm going to set a specific goal. My specific goal is to talk to 3 potential clients this week. And so now it's clear what I need to do. The next step is really clear. How do I talk to 3 people? Reach out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, go out to the coffee shop. It's easy to get out and meet 3 people now. And so after you talk to 3 people, now you're feeling confident because you're taking action. You're doing something, and now you feel ready for the next thing. So the easiest way to start is really to get specific and start. Get specific and start. And making sure, I would say the last thing with that is making sure that it's an attainable goal. You know, I like to call them stretch goals. You know, to say that I want to be a multimillionaire, that's a overall goal. But what's the closest thing I can do right now to put me on the road to being a millionaire? The closest thing could be, okay, this week I want to earn $1,000. Like, that's a way you can make that big goal of multimillionaire attainable to right now. What can I do right now? Well, I can look for ways to create $1,000. I can look for ways to create $500 or even $100, depending on where you are in your business. But 1, be real with yourself. 2, set a specific goal, and 3, make it attainable.
Wow, someone write those things. Now give us those 3 again. As D. Wilkins out there saying she loves you taking action, by the way. Karen Cherry says, hello, Tye. See you next week in Biloxi, Mississippi. Can't wait. I'll be there. We're going to be throwing down. We'll be getting down with the get down. Might be live on the set. I might ask her, Tye, if you can come on back, because we're going to be live. We'll be there. Sherry Wallace is out there right now. D. Wilkins said, take action right now. She says, thanks, Tye. Love you so much. This is impactful. Give us those 3 steps again. You gave us 3 things. Give those 3 things. Yeah. Someone do me a favor. Write those 3 things down right now.
1, be honest with yourself. Mm-hmm. 2, you want to set specific goals. 3, you want to set attainable goals. So don't make the goal too big, because if it's too big, you're going to feel like it's out of reach. You want to make it where it's just enough to stretch you towards the next move.
Yeah, I love what you said there. Constance took notes. Get specific, start, and set attainable goals. And that said, 5 things you're self-sabotaging. Thank y'all for taking notes, by the way. Thank you so much for taking notes. These notes are very important, and you're paying this forward on the digital board. I appreciate it. I know on the other side, Tye appreciate it. Annette just did a whole recap, by the way. You got to go read it in the notes. She says, 5 things. You wrote down 5 things. Number 1, our daily habits. Number 2, hiding. Number 3, hesitation. Number 4, being hypercritical. And number 5, helplessness. Thank you so much, by the way. Sherry Wallace says, welcome to Mississippi next week. She can't wait. She's going to see you there. She'll be there. She'll be throwing down. Don't worry. When she come back, I'm going to ask her what's going on with that cool background back there. Give us the backstory. They're trying to read family rules, and maybe she'll tell us about those in the back and why she has it and how that relates to us, how that could benefit us. That's the bottom line, and I want you to walk away with, for everyone that's watching right now, for all of you to tune in, look, don't worry. Ty's at overtime. She said, Shay, I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve. So I got some more. Don't worry. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to go over to my good friend, none other than Anthony. And Anthony Abrams is going to talk about how to maximize your potential. How to maximize your potential. Let's go over to Austin, Texas. We'll be back in just a moment. Tye, don't worry. Get queued up. Tye got more. Tye has more. I'm going to ask her to step back and tell us, look, what's going on with that background? And then more importantly, what's her secret sauce? What's something big she's working on? We'll be right in just a moment.
Hey, what's up, folks? This is Anthony Abrams, and I am excited to be sharing with you guys on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st. Now, look, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 ways to maximize your potential. Again, 10 ways how to maximize your potential. But today, we're only going to talk about 1. Now, look, the first step in maximizing your potential is this. You've got to you got to know your source. I repeat, you got to know your source. Now, if you tuned in before, you saw me talk about how I sat down at the kitchen table, opened up the yellow pages or the white pages, and I began to call and find my dad. That's a true story. The reason, why did I do that? Because I grew up with my mom. I had questions. Why am I so tall? Why am I bigger than everyone else? Why do I think this way? Why I had this bald head? You know what I'm talking about. I needed to know my source. The same thing happens with you guys. And consider this. You want to know your source. Once you know what you're made of and where you come from and what you're built from, then you get to understand how you can better charge out into the world and take advantage of what you were designed to do. Now, once I did that, my whole world transformed. I understood, oh, wow, this is why I think this way. And he supercharged my life and set me on a whole nother path. I want you guys to consider doing the exact same thing. And another thing is, when you're looking for your source, consider this. Consider understanding what is your spiritual source. It took me to a whole nother level. Now look, I got to get out of here, but I want you guys to tune in next week as I bring you step number 2. And remember, as always, sow good seeds, do good work, reap, then teach to repeat. Until next week. Peace.
All right, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We're here with none other than the one, the only, the fabulous one herself. You got it. Tye Miles. Dee Wilkins wants you to know that she's coming to Birmingham soon. Tye, she's looking forward to meeting you. She can't wait to meet you face to face. Yeah, she's in Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah, go by there and have some dinner, by the way. Have some lunch, break some bread, have a conversation. Do something great today while you're there.
That's right.
I just couldn't resist that. I couldn't resist that. You know, Tye, one of my favorite segments, before we get into that cool background, you see that cool background she got there. Don't worry. I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. But one of my favorite segments that we love to do, Tye, on the show is called Today is My January 1st. Today is my January 1st. We get new opportunities. We get a restart. We get a rebirth. We get to recharge. We get to refuel. And we get to rejuvenate our soul and go to another level. And that's an idea. That's a concept. That's a belief that we can have on any given day. And so one of the mantras, one of the things that I love to share with the audience during this segment is that today is my what? January 1st. Today is my January 1st. I get a new opportunity to get back on track again. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. Now, why did I say that? Do you remember how excited you were back on December 31st? You couldn't wait to January 1st. Your goals maybe were written down, maybe on the back of a napkin. After a couple drinks, I get it on the cocktails or whatever you were having. You wrote down some goals. But nevertheless, when you woke up, you said, today is my January 1st. New me, new opportunities, new relationships, new clients, new marketing. Yes, I'm going to go to the gym. Yes, I'm going to eat the right food. Yes, I'm going to call my loved ones. And here's what I want you to know. Any given day, at any given time, you can tell yourself that today is my January 1st. Do me a favor for everyone who's watching right now. Sherry Wallace, for everyone who's watching right now. D. Wilkins, for everyone who's watching right now on the net. For all of you, look right below the video. And I want you to write these words that today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And you're not just writing those words to get excited. You're not just writing those words to get motivated. You're writing those words because you believe them in your heart of heart that today is my January 1st. In fact, Happy New Year to you. Now, Tye, I want you to repeat after me. And as you do, I want you to think about when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what it means to you and what your message is to those folks out there that are like, you know what? Today is my January 1st, Tye. You know what? I can do these things, Tye. You know what? Life is a series of being on track and off track, and I'm back on track. Tye's going to share her message. But first, Tye, repeat after me. Today is my January 1st.
Today is my January 1st.
I love it. One more time. Today is my January 1st.
Today is my January 1st.
This is one of my favorite segments, everyone. Do me a favor. Look right below the video and put today is my January 1st. I'm going to ask her to do it one more time because I just get excited. Not just to run around, because I know that the best is yet to come. I know that there's greatness happening for me. So, Tye, one more time. Today is my January 1st.
Today is my January 1st.
When you say those words, Tye, what goes to mind? Annette put, today is my January 1st. Happy New Year. To Hike put, today is my January 1st. Happy New Year. Sherry Wallace put, today is my January 1st. Happy New Year. When you hear those words, what rings true for you and what message do you have for the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe and all those folks who are watching online, all those folks who are watching the replays, all those folks that are on the podcast or the conference calls? We love and appreciate every single one. And today is your January 1st. Talk to them, Tye.
Yes. So when I hear those words, today is my January 1st, I think of the ability to create my own reality, every day, literally every moment. I can remember living from moment to moment. I couldn't wait to another day to hit the reset button. I couldn't wait till the alarm clock went off the next day. I literally had to reset every 60 seconds or every 10 seconds or every hour on the hour. I was hitting the reset button. When I hear those words, and what I want you to know tonight is that you have the ability to create your own reality. Right now, with your thoughts, you can create something new. Close your eyes. You don't have to be in the situation that you're in. You can literally take yourself to another scenery in your mind. You can fast forward and take yourself to the time ahead of you when you are living in whatever that new reality or whatever that desired reality is for you. You can create that right now. So when I take my moment to reset, and it's so amazing because I do this every day, I close my eyes and I think of like my body being what I wanted, my mind being what I wanted, my health being what I wanted, my family life, my business life, my travel life, my bank account. I literally think about reset, wipe the canvas clean. I don't care what the facts of reality are trying to tell me. I don't care what the facts of reality are trying to tell you right now. But what I'm saying, when I hear that today is my January 1st, I control the truth. I get to decide what my truth is, and it starts right now in this moment because today is my January 1st.
I love it. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. When we come back, we're going to go over to Tye Miles. And Tye, I appreciate your time. I know we're in overtime. Thank you so much for giving so much. We come back, I'm going to ask her about the power of your environment, the power of making sure the settings are right. And yeah, I'm gonna ask about what's back on her wall. Don't worry about it. I know you can see it. I'm gonna ask you about that, and I'm gonna ask about some of those words and why that's important and why that's powerful. Right now, we're gonna go over to none other than the one and only, the fabulous one, Anish. And Anish talks about you got to do it with enthusiasm. Whatever you're gonna do, you got to do it with enthusiasm, baby. You got to make it happen. Let's go over to Las Vegas. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show with none other than myself, Shay Brown, and Tye Miles. We'll be back in just a moment.
So, hey, my name's Anisha Garrett from Elise & Co., and I'm super excited to be here with you guys in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. You know what? Today is my January 1st, and I really hope it's yours too, because I want you to wake up and I want you to get at it and get in it with great enthusiasm. I talk about that a lot because when you're enthusiastic about a goal, you attack it, you get into it, and guess what? You can beat this little thing that we call fear. Fear keeps us from doing so many things. It's holding so many of us back from accomplishing our goals. So whether it's making that phone call to offer your services or pushing that live button to get your message out to more people, I want you to do it today. Even if you're scared, I want you to let the enthusiasm, because today's January 1st, be greater than any fear you could ever imagine. Because once you do it, you'll be so proud of yourself, and that momentum will carry you to that next thing. And then next thing you know, you're ticking things off your list and you're accomplishing those goals. So do it with enthusiasm, because today is your January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that you guys allowed me to spend some time with you today here in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. So until I chit chat with you guys again, make it an amazing day, make it an amazing week, get at it, get in it, and let's check some of those goals off the list, because enthusiasm is going to carry you further than that fear.
How true is that? How important that? We're here with none other than the one and only Tye herself. Do it with enthusiasm. Tye, I'm going to turn over you, and the question folks have is the importance of creating the environment. We're coming down the home stretch. We're just about done, ladies and gentlemen. We're down the home stretch, but you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. I promise you don't want to miss this. I'm going to ask her to talk about the power of your environment, and then what she's created, just a section. And is that just a section she did for you tonight? Is this something that's in her DNA? And I don't know the answer. I really don't. But you might want to know the answer. So I'm going to open up, and I'm looking at what you've created behind us. So talk for a moment a little bit about the power of your environment and tone that sets, and then what you kind of created behind us and the importance of it.
Yeah, so you all are in my home. This is my dining room. So this is the back wall behind me. And so many different things. Every small detail matters to me. So for a long time, I didn't decorate my house. I just worked, and came home and rested and went back out to work. But when I was given the opportunity to shift into this new lifestyle, I was home more. And so I took the liberty of making this space and feeling the energy of the space. Energy is so important. Just in the same way, when you're at work, most of us like it neat and clean and tidy. You can think better, and all your creative juices are flowing because it's neater. Everything is in its space. And the same is true when it's cluttered. Typically, our mind is cluttered, and we have a harder time concentrating. Well, I'm an energy girl. I say this all the time. This space around me. Two things that you'll know when you come to any space that I'm in. I love distressed things, and I love words. And you see pops of colors throughout, but everything matters. I love distressed things because, one man's junk is another one's treasure. People look at things that are torn and worn as something that is not really attractive, but to me, I see the beauty in the scars. I see the beauty in the wounds, and it reminds me of myself. And most entrepreneur journeys, our journeys, we're wounded. We're tattered up and bumped and scrubbed up and scraped a lot, but we're still so beautiful. And there's an extra special beauty on distressed items for me. So you see a lot of that around me. And then as for the words, there are words everywhere. I am a true believer that your words create the world you live in. And so literally in every point of my house, every corner of my house, you see words. Like this particular picture here, it says, dream big, laugh, say I love you, be silly, use kind words, giggle, be grateful, share, keep your promises, say please and thank you, help others, don't whine, and finally, keep calm and carry on. Keep it moving, keep trying and keep trying. And so words are so important. The energy of the atmosphere is so important. And last, like the colors, like yellow is my favorite color. You see I'm very vibrant tonight. My body was very excited to be here tonight, and certain colors ground and anchor me. And so I chose some green to calm me, and I chose a very vibrant fuchsia shirt to remind me of how powerful I am. And it really works. It really works. You all understand that when you wear certain colors, you feel a certain way. And when you're in certain places, you can look at things and you can feel a certain way. So I definitely believe in the energy of the environment that you create.
I love the energy and the environment that you create. You're here with none other than Tye Miles. When we come back, I'm going to ask Tye Miles to give us her final comments, her final thoughts for this evening. She's taught us already how to stop sabotaging our business. She kind of walked us step by step through the number one thing. Then she gave us a couple of bonuses, which was pretty cool, by the way, on things that we can do. When we come back, I'm going to ask her her final comments, and I'm going to ask her, when Tye looks out over the next 30 days, what does she see for Tye? What's Tye getting into now? And so that's going to be pretty exciting and pretty cool. We'll do that as we close out. I'm going to go down to Houston, Texas, and connect with none other than Dorsey Hill, one of our producers. She talks about setting boundaries. So as you decide that this is how you're going to live, that this is how you're going to be, you've got to have some boundaries around that. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, hi, howdy. I am Dorsey Hill. My company is Dorsey Hill Global, and I'm the founder of the Healthy, Happy, Fun Life Academy, Mastermind, and Network. And today is my January 1. Yay! And I'm super excited to be here with the fantabulous Happy Entrepreneur Tribe to share my thought of the week on boundaries. And I'm going to start with the sentence, no. Yes, I said sentence because no is a complete sentence. And too many times as entrepreneurs, we say yes to all the things, when in reality, we are not serving ourselves best by saying yes to all the things when we should be saying no so that we can say yes to the things that are most important to move the needle for us in our business. And guys, no is really so simple. It doesn't take much to get used to it, and it means nothing about us when we say no, except that we have learned to set boundaries in place to say, I have things to do, I have my mission, I have a plan for this world, and I can't make that happen and be who I need to be when I'm saying yes to all of the things. Saying no really does open the doors to all the yes opportunities that are just waiting in line for you. And one of the things I love to ask people is, what do you not understand about the word no? Is it the N, the O, or the space in between? You're just not understanding, because no means no. And it's a complete sentence, and it's okay to say it and be comfortable with it. Well, I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and my wish for each and every one of you is that you're healthy, happy, and have a ton of fun in this life that you're living. Big Texas love and hugs to each and every one of you. Bye for now.
Big Texas love for all of you out there right now. We want to be healthy, happy, and have a fun life. We want to make that all come together, and we have none other than the one and only Tye Miles herself to do that. Tye Miles, first let me say thank you so much. We appreciate you, appreciate your time, appreciate you staying longer than you anticipated. But what you were sharing is just so critical, and what I love about you is that you believe in your heart that these principles work. You've seen the principles work for others, and you know it works for us. And that's really, really important. I'm taking away a lot of notes, but my number one takeaway is I got to focus on the habits. People form habits, and the habits form futures. So we've got to take a look at those habits. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being who you are. I appreciate you. Want to have you back on the show, right? I know we got to have a part 2. I know we got to go deeper. We'll make it a smaller segment. I get it. You gave so much of your time away from your family. We appreciate it. So thank you so much. My number one question, obviously, is will you come back? And number 2, will you go ahead and share your final comments with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe?
Absolutely. Yes, I will definitely come back. I love being in this. You have such a wonderful platform here with real valuable information. Hands down, one of the best shows I've ever been a part of or ever been on the other side of receiving from. So great work, Shay, and your team.
Thank you.
And secondly, the last thing I would just like to say, and remind everyone tuning in is remember that you're the one that control how you show up. And when I say that, I mean that you're the one that get to define your belief system, because you are nothing more than a combination of what you believe in. And no matter what else other people are saying about you, no matter what the limitations and the expectations that other people place on you, remember that you are in the ownership seat. You have to take full ownership in the driver's seat of your belief system, what you choose to believe. And you also have permission. You have to give yourself permission to cut away beliefs, habits, and people that no longer serve and support the bigger vision that you have for yourself. So give yourself permission to define your own beliefs and understand that it's okay to get rid of beliefs that no longer serve you. Get rid of habits and put other people on pause that no longer serve and support the bigger vision that you are moving toward.
Wow. With that being said, you just heard from the one and only Tye Miles. Tye Miles, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Can't wait to see you next week. We're going to throw down, by the way. Don't worry. I'm going to try to grab her to do like a 2-minute segment. Don't worry. Don't worry. I've already asked her, Tye Miles, will you be one of the producers? Will you share your thought of the week? Will you keep us on track? Don't just leave us, but she's part of the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. You can find her in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. You can find her over at TyeMiles.com, and she's going to stay connected and stay in the conversation. You did say you would do that, didn't you, Tye Miles?
I did.
I didn't put her on the spot. I'm asking her, by the way. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. With that being said, I want you to know that you're amazing. You've been watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. Tye Miles threw down. She's amazing. You can text the word revenue. Text the word revenue to get the replay to 202-999-3515. Again, 202-999-3515. And for everyone that's watching, I want you to know that you're amazing, that you're incredible, that you got so much greatness inside you. Those seeds of greatness are waiting to come out. You are a freak of nature. You've got so much potential, and you're going to have more meaning in the world. You're going to have more impact in the world, and you're going to live the life that you deserve, not because for you, but because for someone else. You've got a vision for the people you were called to serve, and this is your moment. This is your time, and I want you to know that I believe in you. Why, Shay? Because the best is yet to come. Why, Shay? Because the best is yet to come. Why, Shay? Do I believe in you? Because the best is still yet to come. With that being said, by the way, my name, for those folks who hear me for the first time, my name is Shay Brown, Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we're going to make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you all success. We'll see you soon. Bye, Tye. Bye, everybody. This is fun.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Cannett?
Ready.
No, none other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia, who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin. That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there.